Welcome, YouTube, to a Narrative Crusades index card review on the Monolith, a tank of truly destructive potential. But first, our live campaign starts soon. This campaign is in the Segmentum Pacificus and covers the events of the anchor world Gundahar. Each pack we release will contain war zones for you to battle it out in as the Imperium attempts to staunch the Tyranid invasion during the Fourth Tyrannic War, while also dealing with the impacts of the Ark of Omen Mask of the Damned. Patreons will get the full campaign. Everyone else will get approximately half of the campaign. We won't rotate that, so you will get a full access to half of the campaign, whereas obviously Patrons will get the full deal. Our Patreons will also be entered into a competition this month to get 2 combat patrols of your choice. You will get 1, there will be 2 winners. And there are still a good number of our friends in there who've said that they don't actually want the combat patrol because they want us to give it to other people on the channel. So at the moment, your odds of winning are very, very high. Our last month's Patreons have actually shown off the rewards in our Discord chat. Right, let's move on to why we're here. The Monolith, today's pick of choice, was recently discussed in more detail in the vehicles review video. But today we're going to see just how disgusting the damage can actually get. However, let's discuss it in the lore a little bit first. It is in principle a primary planetary assault craft for the forces of the Necron tier. Its main weapons are some Gauss flux weapons or a death ray, suitably named, but also that giant ball on the top there is actually a particle whip. It has a necrodermis that can repair it from almost any damage, and it's actually linked to the tomb world. So once it lands on your planet, unless you destroy it pretty sharpish, then the Necron overlords can actually bring an almost infinite number of infantry reinforcements from their homeworld, which means you can be facing thousands of Necrons pretty quickly. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, in the lore there is actually the potential to store up to 100 of these bad boys in a little tiny Tesseract vault in your pocket. Oh, and according to Magic the Gathering, it is indestructible. Right, what's this bad boy like on the table? It's pretty slow, 7-inch movement, toughness 14 makes it very, very hardy to all but the highest of value weaponry. A save of 2+ is very good, and 20 wounds makes it really, really tough. Don't forget that it gets to reanimate each turn, and there are a lot of ways to actually increase this reanimation to 2d3 and also use other things nearby, such as spiders to give it a feel no pain or a technomancer to heal it further. I'm finding quite regularly on the table that my opponent manages to put 10 damage onto it, and then I'm healing 6 back each turn and then blowing up whatever shot me. However, let's talk about some dice gods here. How can we get to this preposterous number of damage? Well, for a start, let's just be frank. You really, really need the dice gods to be with you. The chance of dealing this damage is low, but it is possible. So with our death ray, if we get 4 6s on the hit, we actually get sustained hits D3. So that's D3 times 4. If we get 5s and 6s on that, it means that we've got 16 hits. Assuming that they all wound, that's 16 times d6 plus 1 damage. That is 112 damage with the death rays. Although, let's be honest, in this pretend world we live in, our opponent will probably pass all of their invulnerable saves and we don't deal any damage anyway. Now, real world maths, 1 a turn is hopeful. We're likely to miss with 1, so we're probably going to hit with 4 or 5. If we get a really lucky spike and get a double 6, then we're going to be hitting with 7 or 8 a turn, which I'm finding is happening with luck about once a game. So we're getting 6 to 4 wounds, depending on the toughness of the vehicle or infantry squad that we're shooting at, because we've got a strength 12 weapon. So we should be looking at anywhere between 9 and 15 damage a turn with those 4 death rays, with a little bit of luck on our side. Now, the particle whip is 3d6 hits. It's got blast. Let's assume we're shooting at an infantry unit with 10 models in, so it's 3d6 plus 2 hits. It has 20 potential hits. It has devastating wounds. If everything hits and we roll a ridiculous amount of 6s, that's 40 mortal wounds that this vehicle can be putting out a turn. Realistically, however, we're looking at around 9 to 12 hits. Hitting on 3s is very good. We can very easily make that 2s. So a lot of those are going to transfer over. I'm finding on average I'm dealing 4 mortal wounds a turn with the particle whip. It is not shy at all. However, there is one thing that we really should have considered with our monolith in order to make it truly disgusting, in order to make this 112 damage and 40 mortal wounds happen more often. What we should have done is made friends with the Aldari. What could possibly wrong if we had fake dice as well? Thank you once again for listening. We're starting a new series soon. The Necron series is coming to an end. Let us know in the comments what you would like to see next. At the moment, we are leaning towards Chaos Space Marines.